Number 13, 14, evaluate. So I'm going to evaluate my expression. Now again, we talked about exponents before. When that negative is in front, that negative is not in with the squaring. What this means is negative 1 times 6 squared. So I'm going to write it as negative 1 times 6 times 6. It is not negative 6 times negative 6 because there's not parentheses. If I multiply that out, I only have one negative. I'm going to end up with a negative answer, negative 36. Where this one is the ones we did before. This one, the negative is in the parentheses, so it means negative 7 times the second negative 7. And a negative times a negative gives me a positive answer. Number 14, if I'm doing negative 5 to the third, the negative is in the parentheses. It means negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. 1, 2, 3 negatives. It's going to be negative. 5 times 5 is 5, and 5 times 5, or 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is 125. So negative 125 should be my answer. On this one, notice there are not parentheses. If there's not parentheses, this means negative 1 times 3 to the 4th power. So it means negative 1 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. There is only one negative. My answer is negative. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. Number 15. Again, I've got that negative sign in front of my 6 to the third. It is not in parentheses. It means negative 1 times 6 to the third. So negative 1 times 6 times 6 times 6. There is only one negative sign. My answer is negative. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 6 we did earlier was 216. This one, the negative is in the parentheses. It means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. There's 1, 2, 3 negatives. My answer is going to be negative, and 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So negative 8 is my answer. So be very careful with that negative sign. If it's not in the parentheses, it only counts as one negative. If it is in the parentheses, then I have it that same number of times as the exponent.